Johnny, tell us a Christmas story, please. Okay, everyone sit back and get comfortable, and let me tell you about a team that just over a week ago got their doors blown off at home and made a certain hockey YouTuber shoot his fan reaction about said game before the game was even over. And then tonight, that team rallied to win in overtime with a guy who scored the overtime winner, doing so against a team he used to haunt when he played in the same division. Before you fly off the handle, Johnny, take a deep breath. Ha, 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 ha. Does someone somewhere have a voodoo doll collection of this roster? As always, not helping. I guess the season's over. So, silence? That was the plan.
Why does it say placed on waivers?
Nothing said. I have to talk about dumb moves and a pet's front office. What the hell did I just watch? Do I really need to be here for this at this point?
I'm not having flashbacks to Game 4 against the Canucks last spring.
At this point, Johnny, you can just splice together old intros.
Cutie intro.
Redemption take you home.
Everybody's hands go up, way up, as the Nashville Predators rally from a 1-0 second intermission deficit to defeat the Florida Panthers by a final of 2-1 in overtime on the back of a 30-save performance by one UC Soros and a goal and an assist by the Factor and her heroic effort to end the game in overtime by a former division rival foe of the Panthers. Yeah, you can bet I'm fired up right now. Preds and Panthers, as I said, squaring off for the first time since a week ago Monday when the Panthers blew the doors off of the Preds. Do I need to really relive that third period for you? And they made me shoot my first ever Preds fan reaction video before the game was even over. That was memorable, but also that was last week. Almost 3 minutes into this one, Evan Rodriguez takes down Fedor Svechkov, and the Panthers feed that I was stuck watching was sure to point out that, I think there was embellishment. The refs confer, and they send them both off with penalties, so we play 4-on-4. 30 seconds later, Brad Marchand gets called for tripping, so the Preds get a power play early in this one anyways. A really good chance that would have been helpful to get the scoring going for the Preds. Philip Forsberg beats Bobrovsky in net for the Panthers, but he rings it off of the goalpost. About 9 minutes or so into the first period, Preds holding their own, playing much better than they did last week against Florida, obviously. Preds under some duress a few minutes later, but thanks to one UC Soros, he averts any immediate danger. Fast forward to under 5 minutes left to go in the first period. Panthers separating themselves ever so slightly from the Preds with more chances, getting closer and closer to probably getting one past UC Soros and getting that lead. Well, the one good thing about being stuck with the Panthers feed is that I was informed that Carter Verhaeghe was a new daddy with a child just having been born, and shortly thereafter, it's Verhaeghe who gets a great chance in with speed, and he beats UC Soros to put the Panthers up 1-0. Hey, we've seen it happen with the Preds in previous seasons when a Preds player has a child and they get a big goal. So, hey, congratulations to Carter Verhaeghe. That's all I want to see out of you in this one. And let's get the Preds back to tying this game, even though we'd have to wait a while, and maybe even winning it. Matthew Wood with a late interference goal. Fortunately, no further damage. The Panthers don't score. Preds and Panthers pretty even in shots on goal. Panthers, though, lead where it counts after 20 minutes, up 1-0. Just over 4 minutes into the second period, Preds on the power play, attacking in the Panthers zone. You've got Steven Stamkos. If only he was a left-handed shot, this definitely would have gone in because he would have raised it. He has Bobrovsky down at his mercy, but instead he's trying to go backhand past Bobrovsky, and here comes Nico Mikula, the Panthers defenseman, who is able to, at the last possible moment, get his stick on the puck and knock what would have been a certain Preds goal. At that moment, I am praying out loud as a Preds fan. You hope that missed opportunity doesn't cost the Preds in this one. As we know, this game would be razor sharp the rest of the way. 9.5 minutes left to go in the second period. Played behind Saros' net. Nick Blankenburg being a little careless with his stick. He gets it up in an attempt to defend against Anton Lundell, but unfortunately he can't control it. It rides up, clips him, there's blood, and the Preds are forced to kill off a double minor. But I guess hockey luck would be on the Preds side, because they would kill off not the first half, but also the second half of that double minor. Before the end of the second period, Preds are also able to kill off a Spencer Stastny hooking penalty, meaning they prevented Panthers' second goal, but the Preds don't have a goal in their column through 40 minutes. Preds were very, very lucky to have UC Saros on their side in this game, because in the second period, the Panthers outshot the Preds 15-4. He made 15 saves in that second period. Stay out of the box in the third period. Get more shots and do something to salvage this game and get yourself redeemed for last Monday. It was announced as we start the final 20 in this one that Ozzy Westblatt would not return, who got hurt earlier in this game, left with an upper body injury, and you hope for the best for that kid after the amazing effort he gave on Tuesday back at home against Calgary. Preds would start the third period on a power play, because in the dying seconds of the second period, Gustav Forsling took a minor, and it takes almost the entire duration of the Preds power play with like 8-7 seconds or so left. The Preds are swarming. They're in Bobrovsky's crease, and they swear they scored. The Preds are celebrating. It looks like Eric Halla tied it. No official pointing at the goal by the officials. Florida wants them to look at it. They don't have the challenge. The officials go in review, and yeah, I will admit, on video review, there was no conclusive evidence that it crossed the line. Unfortunately, the Preds are going to have to wait maybe a little longer, we hoped, in the moment to get one past Bobrovsky, but for the moment, it still remains 1-0 Florida. I know I've said this before. I think I have through 7 or so seasons of doing Preds fan reaction videos. What's it going to take for the NHL to put a chip in the puck to know if it's officially over the line, even if we can conclusively see it or not through that net cam? If FIFA for Euro Cup and World Cup games can put a chip in the soccer ball to tell us when it's officially over the goal line, why can't the NHL figure that out with a black rubber puck? Panthers still leading 1-0, but the Preds are back hard at work trying to get that tying goal. They would draw a power play, and even though they wouldn't score it, I'm giving them credit. They're doing the hard work. They're getting the shots. If I'm a Panthers fan, I'm ticked off that this Panthers team only registered 3 shots on goal in that third period. Props to the Preds for getting 12. Shy of 7 minutes into the third period, Spencer Stastny gets called for holding Brad Marchand. Not wise when you're on the road trying to tie the game. But fortunately, the penalty expires, and then it's Brad Marchand who creates a power play chance for the Preds yet again with a pick play, officially interference on Brady Shea. All of us breathing a little heavier, a little deeper as we get 9 minutes left in regulation. Preds unable to score on power plays, unable to get their good chances, I think, on Bobrovsky in the Panthers zone, getting something to turn into a goal. Preds only trail 1-0, but at this rate, this deficit seems like larger. But finally, with about 6.5 left to go in regulation, our prayers are answered. You've got Michael Bunting, who comes down the left wing board into the Panthers zone, and just before the goal line right against the board, he gets a shot out front to Ryan O'Reilly again. The guy at the center of trade speculation. He's able to get a stick on it, backhand deflected right in between Bobrovsky's pad and the post, and it's in. This one counts. There's no way they can wave it off if the Panthers decided to challenge it. The Preds played this game after that hard work in the third period at one apiece. Under 2 minutes left to go in regulation now. Ryan O'Reilly with a partial breakaway, looking to cap this game off with a Preds comeback, but Sergei Bobrovsky with a tremendous save to keep this tied at 1. Under a minute left to go in regulation. Preds get an all-important clear out of their zone with Panthers pressure. This game still tied at 1 as the clock is ticking of the last seconds of regulation. Brady Shea, uncontested with a successful killing off of the clock, standing behind Saros' crease. The final seconds tick down. Everyone just take a deep breath for a few moments. The Preds have found their way and clawed and fought their way back to 1 apiece with a chance to win against the Panthers team that embarrassed you last week. For a good solid first minute of overtime, it's the Panthers doing all the hard work, but some good defense by the Preds. Obviously solid goaltending by UC Saros keeps this game tied at 1 as we play on. I will give Fedor Svechnikov credit for working his will, driving towards the Panthers net when he probably should have passed it off. He gets a great chance, but he just shoots it wide of Bobrovsky. And in a fourth period where the Preds and Panthers got 3 shots apiece, let's get to the cream of the crop, the bread and butter that I know you all want to relive with me. Just over a minute left in overtime after UC Saros makes a great save on Gustav Forsling of the Panthers. The puck goes the other way. Roman Josi has the puck as the Preds transition into the Panthers zone. He gets the puck over to Ryan O'Reilly, who is skating right in. The Preds have tremendous speed, and Ryan O'Reilly is able to alley-oop to former Panthers killer when he was on a Tampa Bay Lightning, Steven Stamkos, who, meanwhile, here comes Gustav Forsling, who had the chance for the Panthers at the other end, racing back. I'll give him credit for racing back as he comes sliding and tumbling into the Panthers' nets behind Bobrovsky. Just so happens to be as Steven Stamkos is set up by Ryan O'Reilly to snap it past Bobrovsky. There goes Forsling tumbling into the net. The net comes off. There's no question about it. Not after that crap that we had to put up with in Minnesota. The refs call it a goal. The Panthers don't argue. The Panthers bench does not want to challenge it. Oh yeah, read them and weep. That loss in Minnesota is redeemed. Thank you, Steven Stamkos, as the Preds walk off. This one, it feels so sweet, winning this game by a final of 2-1. I will give the boys credit. Full props to the fact that a week ago Monday, they got embarrassed by this team. Made this hockey YouTuber shoot the fan reaction video before the game was even over because he was so ticked off. But they went into enemy territory on the road against the team that was in their head that last Monday night. And after they came back to tie the game after being down after 40 minutes, a former divisional foe of this Panthers team must have said, hey boys, don't worry, I got this against this team. Full props to Steven Stamkos for getting the overtime winner. This team that only had 14 shots on goal through the first 40 minutes, nearly doubled that with their effort in the third period, rallied late to tie it, didn't let a waved off goal deter them, and pulled out the victory in overtime. And in the process of this win, this team avenged that Minnesota loss, answering questions of many fans who probably didn't know about that Minnesota game. How can a goal count if the net comes off, guys? It's like, yeah, go watch the Minnesota-Nashville game for anyone who has any questions about that with this game in Florida. And, well, don't look now, but the Preds have won 4 of their last 5 games. The Preds have moved from second worst team in the league to third worst team in the league. That's progress, right? Coming up now, two big tests. They go into Raleigh to play the Carolina Hurricanes on Saturday, and then we'll be back at home on Tuesday night to face league-leading Colorado Avalanche. Was tonight's result an outlier, or something equal to or greater than the 18-game point streak of old? Who knows? Your guess is good as mine, Preds Nation. We shall see. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. You can find my social media and interact with me during every Preds game by clicking on a channel name. Tell all your friends about redemption. Everyone deserves a chance at redemption. Look at these guys. They redeemed an embarrassing loss against this team from last week. Don't miss a chance to witness redemption.